Even Floyd, like when you make yourself like we got issues on your anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Are Floyd's comments potentially in breach of contract? He could blow the whole fight up and never fight and also have taken a cash advance on the fight he may not ever have. He's broke! I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Floyd is so badly hurting for money that this is the stuff he's doing. Knowingly signing contracts for a pro fight just to go and publicly undermine it while taking a cash advance. Essentially going, cool, I need that money now.
Floyd Mayweather is now dealing with what could be one of the biggest financial challenges of his career, as reports claim the IRS has placed a lien against his assets over roughly $7.3 million in unpaid taxes. This is not simply another internet rumor or social media rumor. It is a legal action aimed directly at his wealth and property. For a fighter who built his reputation on financial success, complete control, and independence, the situation immediately raises serious questions. The fact that government authorities are now involved challenges the image Mayweather has presented for years and leaves fans wondering whether the money persona still matches reality.
Is being targeted by the IRS over unpaid taxes, with some of his properties and assets being held on lien until the full balance is paid off, and if not, said assets will be fully taken away. This report comes from Business Insider, but is also now being reported by Ring Magazine, in which they reveal that the IRS has filed a lien versus Mayweather in Las Vegas, currently putting a hold on Mayweather's Vegas property due to unpaid taxes stemming from 2018 and 2023 that have now ballooned to $7.3 million.
This situation becomes even more significant once you understand what a lien truly represents. Authorities are not merely requesting payment. They are freezing assets, including property located in Las Vegas, until the outstanding debt is fully paid. If the issue remains unresolved, those properties could eventually be seized. That completely changes the conversation. It is no longer just about public image. It is about maintaining control. For someone like Mayweather, who has always emphasized ownership and financial freedom, losing control of valuable assets would mark a major turning point. This kind of pressure works quietly, yet it can hit harder than anything experienced inside the ring.
Because he wants a rematch. You think yes?
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
What makes the timing even more questionable is that these financial reports are surfacing while Mayweather is already facing scrutiny over his business dealings and a possible fight with Manny Pacquiao. When money, contracts, and public expectations all begin overlapping, the story becomes much bigger. It no longer feels like a coincidence. Instead, it appears as though pressure is building from every direction. In boxing, timing has always been critical, not only inside the ring but outside of it as well.
Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like
I
crazy.
mean, it only could go but so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your...
The situation becomes even more confusing after reports suggested that although Floyd publicly described the rematch as an exhibition, he may have actually agreed to a professional contest. If the contract terms are not honored, that could create legal complications. Even more concerning are claims that the same fight agreement may have been used as collateral for a loan. If accurate, It would point to financial decisions happening behind the scenes that fans were never expected to know about. Suddenly, the fight is no longer only about competition. It becomes directly connected to financial obligations.
Is that what's his feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know he said
I wouldn't fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
Is Spears still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so it's still happening then.
he has to remember that.
But it's still on? It's still happening?
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why,
Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't, yeah.
Adding even more tension, reports claim that several Mayweather gyms were forced to close because of unpaid rent and unpaid staff wages. Employees reportedly walked away after not receiving their salaries, and in an unexpected development, Manny Pacquiao allegedly stepped in to purchase and rebrand one of those locations. That alone says a great deal. For someone who once controlled the entire TMT brand, these operational problems suggest visible cracks in the foundation. At the same time, Mayweather has claimed he lost more than $340 million from his career earnings, creating even more questions about where all that money disappeared.
Everybody. I boxed everybody, and it's so crazy. Like, I had a lot of great days, I had a lot of bad days in the gym. But I tell them I never have bad paydays.
Dimitri Salita told me a story that one time a known heavyweight challenged you. You told Leonard to go get your bag and you dropped him with the body shot.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. A lot of times guys do good in the gym. They be happy. They feel like if you've done good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title. Well, you got to really look at this now. Slow down. You go home to an apartment. I go home to a palace. There's a difference.
Now, Floyd,
when you say your name, when they say these fighters' names, they say thousands and millions. When you say
the continued silence from Mayweather and his legal representatives is only adding to the uncertainty. When IRS involvement, business disputes, contract questions, and multiple unresolved issues all exist without a clear response, speculation naturally continues to grow. This is not the type of situation that can simply be ignored. It is a complicated matter that could either be settled quietly or develop into something much larger. At this moment, it feels as though everything remains hanging in the balance.
IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Then Timothy Bradley enters the discussion and completely changes the direction of the conversation. Rather than viewing everything as chaos, Bradley believes it could all be part of a calculated strategy. He explains that financial structuring and advance payments can sometimes be used as negotiating leverage. From his point of view, Floyd may not be reacting to events at all. Instead, he could be controlling the entire situation behind the scenes. That perspective changes everything because what appears to be pressure suddenly looks like careful planning.
But you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable.
Even Bradley admits there are limits to that approach. If you sign a contract for a legitimate professional fight, then legally you are expected to fulfill that agreement. You cannot simply change the terms halfway through without consequences. That is where the situation becomes far more complicated. Floyd may be approaching everything like a businessman, but the system still expects a fighter to honor signed commitments. When those two realities collide, that is usually when serious problems begin.
Money. So we know, Mayweather was, it's been reported, I should say, allegedly, that, he's been you know, a little upside down on some of his taxes and some of his properties. And I guess he needed to come back and fight and take care of that. Well, he got some cheese from...
Now the real tension becomes obvious. On one side, there is strategy, negotiation, and calculated maneuvering. On the other, there are legal obligations, business partners, and government agencies paying close attention. Floyd may be attempting to shape the situation in his own favor, but the real question is whether he can truly manage every moving piece at the same time. Considering his history, it would be unwise to completely dismiss that possibility, yet this situation feels noticeably different.
That money he received, I'm pretty out, man, damn it, I don't know for sure, but damn it, I'm probably about, I know I'm 85, 90%, I'm telling you, because I don't think he'll be doing this. You know, this is business. So he's just saying, I understand it was a real fight, but now I want to change it. I want to change it now. I got my advancement. Now.
Then Shane Mosley shifts the conversation back to the most important topic, the fight itself. He points out that neither fighter is still performing at the absolute peak of his career. Floyd may have slowed down and become easier to hit, while Manny also has his own physical limitations. Suddenly, the discussion is no longer about who is the superior fighter. It becomes about who has declined the least, and that completely changes what fans should expect.
He's not the same Floyd that he was back in the day. So, you know, maybe he's a little bit older and he's not moving as much. And you know that when you get a little bit older, sometimes you don't have the same foot movements, stuff like that, and you're able to get hit with certain shots. So maybe Manny has a chance to get in there and do some stuff. But Manny also has seemed like some complications with I don't know if he had some kind of a stroke or something in the sparring and stuff like that. I thought I seen. So, I mean, there's stuff going on with him too as well. So, yeah, you know, we will see.
Mosley explains the matchup perfectly. Manny brings relentless pressure, explosive speed, and constant chaos into the ring. Floyd counters with intelligence, perfect timing, and complete control. One overwhelms opponents physically, while the other defeats them mentally. That contrast has always defined their rivalry. Now, however, age has become another important factor, making every mistake even more costly than before. One small opening could ultimately decide the entire fight.
The harder puncher was Manny Pacquiao, but the most difficult was Mayweather.
Okay.
As far as, you know, his IQ. He had a better IQ, but Manny had a harder working, you know, repetition where he'll come at you. He's working hard. He's trying to get you. Whereas Mayweather is more technical.
Then Manny Pacquiao joins the discussion with a calm yet powerful message. He does not argue or create unnecessary drama. Instead, he simply states the facts. According to him, they signed a legitimate professional fight. That quiet confidence places all the pressure directly on Floyd without needing dramatic words. It is not loud or emotional, but it is extremely effective. Sometimes that kind of calm approach can be more dangerous than anything else.
If you ask me, as a boxer, I don't need somebody to push me to work hard, work more, but I did. I always put that in my mind when I'm in training. I have to do extra mile to
Manny also supports those words with his preparation. Reports indicate he is training intensely and getting ready for what he believes will be a real battle. That creates a very noticeable contrast. While one side appears focused on negotiations and adjustments, the other is fully committed to preparing for the fight itself. That difference only increases the intensity surrounding the entire situation.
Of exhibition that was long time ago, year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. And then I want a real fight. So he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. And he got his advance. So there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's
When you put everything together, the financial pressure, contract questions, strategic decisions, and physical decline, it becomes obvious that this is no longer a single storyline. Instead, multiple issues are unfolding at the same time, with each one adding another layer of tension. Is Floyd still controlling every detail the way he always has, or is this finally the situation beginning to slip beyond his control?
Yeah, I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So then now makes excuses, no.
This is the moment where every element comes together: business versus responsibility, strategy versus expectation, legacy versus reality. Floyd has built his entire career on staying one step ahead of everyone else, but this time there are simply too many variables, too many people watching, and far too much at stake. That is exactly what makes this one of the most important moments of his career outside the boxing ring.
I'm doing exhibitions, and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions?
Now the focus turns to you. Is this entire situation simply another part of Floyd's master plan, or could this be the moment when everything finally starts slipping away? Meanwhile, Manny remains calm, disciplined, and fully prepared. That contrast alone tells a powerful story. Share your opinion below because this debate is far from finished.